Okay, I'll just get started and figure out the click as I go. So my name is Vlad. Thank you all for coming. I know how tough it is in the mornings after the first day. I know from my own experience, a very fresh experience. But today I'm not going to pitch you any products. I'm not going to pitch you any companies. I'm going to pitch you an entire country. I didn't ask for this, but the Pocket Gamer guys said, you should do it. And I was like, well, why not? After all, every time I go to a conference anywhere, I have people asking me, so you're from Estonia? Okay, but why? So maybe it's my chance to settle it once and for all. But before I proceed, I need to get this clear from the beginning. I'm not working for any government agencies, not paying me to do this. I'm a volunteer ambassador. In fact, I run a business which is called Creative Mobile, and we just turned 5 years this summer. We're 80 people, and we got $250 million downloads across our mobile games on Android, iOS, Windows Phone, and other platforms. And we're based in Tallinn, Estonia. And when I tell people we're based in Tallinn, Estonia, I get all sorts of guesses about the location of the country. One popular guess is it's in Russia. It's not in Russia. You guys are 25 years too late. We've got American fighter jets stationed in Estonia right now, so it's a clear indication it's not Russia. Another guess places us somewhere in Africa. It's partially correct. Alphabetically, that is true, but geographically, that's not the case. And the most popular answer comes from those honest people. I love honesty. Those people tell me, I don't know. To settle it, this is where Estonia is. It's right between Finland, Russia, Sweden, and other countries. And the size of the country is about the size of the Netherlands, slightly bigger. Population is 13 times less, though. It's just 1.3 million. So if for some reason you love Holland, but you hate the Dutch, that might be the next best thing. Before you ask me, marijuana isn't legal. Although if you're really desperate, you can call me when you're in Tallinn. So when we set up the company 5 years ago, the first real problem we faced was obviously the talent. Because that's what you need to get yourself started, right? Talented people willing to work for you. Now, fortunately, we have strong IT roots in the country, because we are the origin of Skype. We are the origin of many technological breakthroughs in the IT industry. We've always been obsessed with communication standards, adopting all the latest technology, online everything, online banking and stuff like that. And it's kind of embedded in the DNA of the programmers that their dream career is to go work at some big bank and write some boring code which will service some other boring code. So we're on a mission to save them from boring jobs in the banks and in the game industry. But the good side of it is that we have a base of really strong programming talent in the country. And it's relatively expensive. I would say 2,000 euros for your typical Android, iOS, Unity dev. 3,000, 4,000 for rockstar talent, 1,000 for juniors. It sucks to be a junior in Estonia. Living cost is quite low, and that explains the salary difference. So if you're employed happily at Supercell in Finland, that's probably not a good option for you. But for guys from Eastern Europe, it makes a lot of sense economically. State funding is available for startups and for gaming startups as well. So it's quite realistic to actually get yourself funded by the government with reasonable conditions, so to say. It's not like you can walk into a government building unarmed and walk away with a bag of money, but it's quite approachable, it's quite reasonable. You don't have to bribe anyone or kidnap someone's family to get this done. The option is there, largely because we have a good track record of some really, really nice tech startups coming from the country. The most recent one is Transferwise, which is a real unicorn, backed by Richard Branson himself, a big company, big business. Of course, there are downsides that we faced. It's a tiny country, and the gaming industry does not, well, it does exist, but 5 years ago it did not exist. So basically the first real company to develop commercially successful games. And as you guys know very well, if you want to grow your business, you need to hire people smarter than you and more experienced than yourselves. And that was a major problem, because we're sitting there, 5 guys, with a game that just took off big time, making €500,000 per month, and basically writing everyone blank checks. And people would come to us and say, hey guys, well, yeah, I like you, you have the energy, you have the vibe, but this isn't real, isn't it? This cannot be happening. There's something you are not telling me about the business. And the media was just mocking us. straight mocking us. They were like, these Russians are saying that they're making €500,000 per month by giving away free games for mobile phones? You're money laundering gangsters. The only question is, why is your cover-up so bad? The rest is clear. So we had a hard time at the beginning, but we solved it in two ways. First, we started getting the word out, educating the public that this is a real thing, gaming is a real business. There's money to be made, there's tons of money yet to be made. And we ran our own conference, we ran a gaming accelerator. We keep running all those events that kind of send the message out and immerse talent into the industry. And the other solution to it was hiring people from abroad. Which brings me to the next question, the infrastructure and the legal system in Estonia. It's European Union, so it's more or less uniform in terms of law, basic laws, and the way things are being done. One distinct feature of Estonia is that it's really obsessed with online services. So we've got web everything. We've been paying our taxes online, voting online, parking our cars online. Actually, we've been parking our cars with text messages for like 10 years at least, but now it's no longer cool. We use the apps. So we even have this fancy thing called e-residency, which actually lets you become an e-resident of Estonia. So you get those digital keys that let you run the business, run your banking account. So you become not a legit citizen, but close to that. And it's a unique feature. No one else has it. Connections to major cities are OK, I would say. We have connections to major hubs nearby. 1-2-hour flight to St. Petersburg, Moscow, Helsinki. Amsterdam, Berlin, London, slightly further away. If you want to fly to America frequently, if you want to fly to Asia frequently, then Helsinki-Vantaa is your home airport, not Tallinn. But getting to Russia, getting to Eastern Europe, and getting to Central Europe is not a problem. And that's why we ended up hiring at least 30 people from Ukraine, Russia, and Belarus, and blending this interesting mix of cultures in the company. Speaking about culture, the country is a mix of Nordic and Slavic, which means that we celebrate Christmas, but we also celebrate New Year. And we also celebrate New Year in summer, because why not? And this is the day where you totally have to drink lots of beer. The beer culture is huge. And I've been thinking about how I can sum up the culture of Estonia in one sentence, and I just came up with this. I used the quote from a wise man who completely gets it. It's very characteristic. But besides that, a few interesting facts. English is universally spoken. If you're in Finland and you are amazed by how well Finnish people speak fluent English, in Estonia it's pretty much the same. Russian is common. 25–30% of the population are ethnic Russians, so you can get away with that. Although English is recommended anyway. We officially have more supermodels per capita than anywhere else in Europe. It's a fact. I don't know who does that kind of statistics, but we're genuinely proud of it. We have lots of beaches. Beaches everywhere, like 2,000 or 3,000 beaches. You can realistically drive for like 1–2 hours from the capital and end up on the beach with just yourself, maybe a few other people, which is a luxury. Too bad the weather doesn't allow that too much, but still, the option is there, like I said. And we officially have the cleanest air in Europe, which makes perfect sense. No people, no pollution. It's a very relaxed place with a vibrant ecosystem, startups, gaming companies, cool stuff. So hopefully I managed to convince you to at least come to Estonia next time you're in Helsinki, because it's just 2 hours in the boat, and the boat is quite comfortable. It's got lots of beer. Just don't take the night boat, because you'll be partying with the old gentlemen, and it's not cool. Take the morning one. Just a pro tip. So if you're convinced and you need a reason to come to Tallinn, I can give you one, if my clicker works. What? Yes, thank you. Things to tell your boss. There's a conference in Tallinn. 8th, 9th April next year. We've been doing this for our 5th year, I think. It's in Tallinn, and you totally need to go there. Simple as that. It's a smaller, cozy event. One distinct feature is a near complete ban on advertising networks. So don't expect people to grab you by your hand and tell you to listen to their pitch, and ask you if you have 15 minutes to talk about monetization in your apps. That's not happening where we come from. It's banned. Nice, cozy event. Would love to see you there. Please book the date, visit the website, or just email me, and I'll hook you up with the details. Thank you, guys. Questions? No questions? Do you guys have any questions? I convinced everyone.
Done my job for me. I mean,
Thank you.
It's much easier. Oh, we've got a question.
I would love to hear some more about your own company. What kind of apps did you make, and what's your big success?
The big success is drag racing. Drag racing, which basically created the genre of drag racing on mobile. And now almost every major company in the space has their own drag racing game. Zynga has it, Glue has it. Yeah, drag racing was the big breakthrough. This is the game which started making us tons of money 4 years ago. And it contributed 140 million downloads of the total count across all platforms. So it's quite big. But we've decided to try and go beyond that. So we're sitting there 4 years ago with piles of cash, basically, and considering just letting it be like that. But we decided that we want to make a difference and try to build proper companies. So we started hiring people. At some point, it went well. At some point, we got in trouble, had some tough times. But now we reached a point where drag racing is not the biggest cash cow. We've moved into publishing as well. We have our own publishing branch called Fun Factory, and we've published 12 titles under the brand. So we're doing lots of things now.